The focus of the inquiry is the culture, practices and ethics of the press in the context of the latter's relationship with the public, the police and politicians. All these matters overlap, and my goal must be to consider what lessons, if any, may be learned from past events and what recommendations, if any, should be made for the future, in particular as regards press regulation, governance and systems of oversight. At some stage, there needs to be a discussion of what amounts to the public good, to what extent the public interest should be taken into account, and by whom. I hope that an appropriate cross-section of the entire profession, including those from the broadcast media, will be involved in each discussion, their purpose being to ensure that the inquiry can begin to concentrate on the principal concerns. The 2005 Act gives me the power to require potential witnesses and those with relevant documents in their custody to provide me with witness statements and those documents as the case may be. Although I have no doubt that many would be happy voluntarily to provide me with this information, in order to maintain an ordered approach to the collection of evidence, I intend to exercise those powers as soon as possible. I could, of course, require journalists to provide me with their files of examples, for they are indeed essential to provide a factual background to the important issues that we must discuss. But at this stage, I would rather invite editors, proprietors of magazines and journalists to assist me by providing a wide range of examples of what is contended to be inappropriate for one reason or another across the fullest range of titles. It may be tempting for a number of people to close ranks and suggest that the problem is or was local to a small group of journalists then operating in the news of the world. But I would encourage all to take a wider picture of the public good and help me grapple with the length, width and depth of the problem as it exists. At one level, contact between the press and politicians and press and the police could be analysed on a case-by-case basis. The thrust of this investigation, however, is to get into the real impact that the relationships between each have upon the way in which they do their work, using the same call for cooperation. I do invite those who have a positive contribution to make to these issues to provide information without necessarily formally being required to do so under the Act.